Hello guys and welcome to Dainty Bite. Today I'm going to show you a great way to make a Fraisier cake roll. It has a soft almond sponge roll and filled with a luxurious mousseline cream. It's a strawberry lover's dream. It has all the flavor of the traditional Fraisier cake, but much simpler to make. Let's get started. I'm gonna start by mixing 3 egg whites with 1 tablespoon of sugar, regular granulated sugar. I'm gonna need a half a cup of sugar for the batter, but I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon for the egg whites right now and leave the rest for later. And please have all your ingredients at room temperature. The eggs will whip much better if they're room temperature. I'm gonna whip to medium peaks, just like you're seeing here. I remove to another bowl. And no need to clean the mixer bowl. I'm gonna add 2 large eggs and 3 egg yolks. And the rest of the sugar, the rest of the half cup of sugar. And I whip until the egg yolks become very light and frothy. The longer you're gonna whip the egg yolks, the lighter and fluffier they'll become, just like you're seeing here. I'm gonna flavor with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of almond extract. Almond extract will give the cake a great flavor. Almost there. I'm gonna add the dry ingredients, a touch of salt. To that I add a 1/4 cup of cake flour. It's very important to use cake flour, it's lighter, about 30 grams. And I add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. The cake will be heavenly and very light. And 2 tablespoons of almond flour. Mix all the dry ingredients together and add it to the batter and mix just until combined. Now it's time to fold the egg whites very gently. I don't want to deflate my batter, so I take my time doing that. And I want to remind you that I leave all the amounts and all the ingredients in the description box below, so don't forget to check it out. And to prep the pan, I have a baking spray. That's so easy to use, but if you don't have that, just brush it with a little bit of butter. Cover every nook and cranny, add the parchment paper and add the butter on top of the parchment paper. Brush more butter before you add the batter. You don't want anything to stick. So you want to grease slightly the bottom and the top of the parchment paper. Add the batter and smooth as much as you can. And you're gonna bake at 450 degrees Fahrenheit, 232 degrees Celsius. And because we're baking at a high temperature, it's not gonna take a long time in the oven, about 7 to 8 minutes max. Check on it with a toothpick. If the toothpick comes out clean, that means it's ready. That actually looks great. It's a successful sponge. Now I'm gonna make the filling. I add 2 cups of milk. To that I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of vanilla bean paste. It has the nice vanilla specks that you like to see in a custard or in a mousse. Add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Then bring the milk close to a boil and set it aside. In a clean bowl, add 3 egg yolks. Add to that the remaining half cup of sugar. Mix very well, and then add 50 grams of cornstarch. Mix until all the mixture is combined nicely. It's looking beautiful. I'm gonna drizzle the hot milk slowly on top of the mixture, a little at a time. You're gonna mix the whole thing and then take it back to the stove and bring it to a boil. It's gonna thicken quite a bit, just like you're seeing here. I moved to a wide bowl to cool down a little quicker before adding the room temperature butter. I'll be adding 170 grams of room temperature unsalted butter, but gradually I'm gonna add it 85 grams at a time. The cake is a little warm, but I'm gonna add a little bit of powdered sugar, a towel, and flip it just like you're seeing here. Remove the parchment paper and try to roll it, just like so. When the custard cools down to 100 degrees Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius, I add the first 85 grams of room temperature butter and I mix until smooth and well incorporated. While I wait for the cream to cool down another 10 to 20 degrees, I'm gonna make the syrup that's gonna cover the cake. For the syrup, I'm gonna bring to a boil half a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of water. When it comes to a boil, I let it simmer for 2 to 3 minutes and add a quarter cup of Kirsch brandy. You can choose not to add the brandy if you don't like to use alcohol. We're at 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm gonna add the rest of the butter, and it helps that the butter is very room temperature and the kitchen is kind of warm after all the baking. Another 85 grams of butter goes in. I mix until very smooth and I cover until ready to use. It's going smoothly, but you can absolutely use a mixer for this if it's too hard for you to handle. Time to slice some strawberries. Just make sure the strawberries are clean and dry. Now I'm gonna unwrap the sponge roll and brush it with a little bit of the syrup that I made earlier. I don't add too much, just enough to add more flavor. I love to make cakes. It's my absolute favorite dessert. Let me know in the comments box below what's your favorite kind of cake. Now I'm gonna spread the mousseline cream in an even layer. Try to smooth it as much as I can. I try to add a little bit more cream at the edge here. I'm gonna add 4 layers of the strawberries. You can add more, but I find this is quite enough. Gently try to roll, just like so. It's gonna be pretty simple to roll, but because it has strawberries and the custard, it's a little heavy, so be careful. Moving it to another platter. You're gonna brush the top of the cake with some more syrup. This will keep it so moist. It's best if you refrigerate before cutting into it, but I wanted to show you how it looks from the inside and how soft it is. All I have to do now is decorate, refrigerate until it becomes a little cooler. Sponge rolls are usually better the next day. Of course, if you can wait. If not, go ahead, have a slice and enjoy. It's an awesome cake. I hope you give it a try soon. And until next time, bon appétit!